Hello students, today's topic is anatomy of lungs. So yesterday we have seen about the respiratory system. So in the respiratory system, pair of organ which is involving there is our lungs. Okay, so today we'll see all the details of this organ. So what all the topics will be covering under lungs means we'll be seeing about their every features externally, internally, all the features. Okay. After that, in that feature itself, we'll be seeing how many borders are there, how many surfaces are there, and how we are dividing the lungs into different lobes by means of fissures, and what is exactly root of lungs, and how we are dividing the entire lungs into different segments, and what are their blood supply, nerve supply, and lymphatic drain. So let's start with the topic now. So if you see the lungs, so let's see this picture. So can you able to see the lungs picture here? So we all have two lungs, okay? It's a paired one. We have on right side one and left side one. So if you see these lungs, it is generally situated in the thoracic region. So thoracic region means, so in this picture you can able to see the thoracic region. See where our ribs are connected. Just follow the arrow mark now. Can you able to see all the ribs? We have total 12 ribs. Okay, anteriorly these 12 ribs are connected to the costal cartilage. See the 12 ribs, the brown color, that is ribs. But in front of the ribs, can you able to see the cartilage? The blue one is the cartilage. We call it as costal cartilage. So anteriorly what is happening? All the ribs are connected to the costal cartilage, and those cartilages connected to the sternum. Okay. So like this on both the side it is happening, and posteriorly what is happening, the ribs will be going and connected to the, that means connected terminology we should use here is the articulation. So it is posteriorly articulated to the vertebrae. Which vertebrae? Thoracic vertebrae. We are reading about thoracic cavity. So the vertebrae is default, it is going to be thoracic vertebrae. And by this you can easily remember that we have 12 thoracic vertebrae. We have 12 ribs. All these connected, anteriorly it is connected to sternum. So if you look at this thoracic cavity, cavity means space. Okay, so this cavity looks like a cage. So what is going to happen? This is going to nicely protect our lungs along with the heart also. Okay, so two lungs exactly in between heart will be situated. The space which is present in between two lungs, space, okay, there is always space will be present in between two lungs. That is called as mediastinum. Once again, there is a space which is present in between two lungs, that is called as mediastinum. Okay. So now let's see about the lungs. So if you see lungs, there is a right lung and then left lung. In between these two lungs, heart will be situated. Okay. So these all are covered by our thoracic cage. That is nothing but anteriorly sternum, on either side costal cartilage and ribs, posteriorly thoracic vertebrae. And one more thing is, if you see down, that means inferior aspect, what we have our diaphragm. Okay, what we have our diaphragm. So what is happening here? This down aspect, that means inferior aspect of our lung is sitting on the diaphragm. Okay, so this is where lung is situated. Do you remember? Lung is situated in the thoracic cavity. Okay. Now, let's see some important features of the lung. So now we know lung is the paired organ. So, and one more thing, very important, it is mainly for respiration. Okay. And how many is there? Two are there. One is on right side. One more is there on left side. Okay. So apart from that, if you want to see the texture, okay, if you want to see this texture of this lung, it looks and it is like a spongy nature. You know the sponge, how it looks. When you touch, you can feel that softness, right? Same like that, you can able to feel it on the lungs also. And if you see the color of this lung, when we born, it is pinkish in color. After that, when we start growing up, the color is changed into brown color. In case of adults, it is completely changing into molted black because of the carbon particles are deposited over there. That is the reason. Okay, but what is why it is pink during delivery, like during birth of the baby? Why does we have the pink color? Because we will start breathing later only. After we born, then only we'll start breathing. Okay, till the time we were inside, we are not using our lungs that period. That is why it looks pink color over there. Okay, next one, what is their weight? Definitely right side and left side weight will be different. Always remember right side is going to be heavier comparing with the left side. Right side is 600 to 700 grams will be there. Left side is 500 to 550 grams. Okay, so this is about some features of our lung. Next, let's see what are the external features of external. We are going to see the external features of the lungs. So here, so see the picture, just follow the picture, I'll show you there. So if you see this, this is the right lung and this is the left lung. In case of the right lung, see this, can you able to see one topmost structure like this? Conical shaped structure, that is called apex. Okay, and this downmost part, can you able to see this one? So this will be sitting on the diaphragm. See this picture, see nicely it is sitting on the diaphragm. Yeah, that is the base. Okay, and then here there is a border called as anterior border. Here we called as an anterior border, and here will be the posterior border. And one more border is inferior border. Can you see the sharp edge running? That is the inferior border. So three borders, then apex and base, and two important surface which we are seeing right now. This is our costal surface. Okay. One more surface which we are not able to see. Where can you see that bronchioles are entering on both the sides? That entering area is there, right? That is our medial surface. Okay. This is the major parts or features of our lung externally. Now let's see details of each parts now. First we'll talk about apex. So this is the apex of the right and left lung. Okay. So now you know already it is conical in shape. And if you see, it is covered by the pleura. What is pleura? Covering layer of the lung. So when we see the lung, it is always covered by one layer which is called as pleura. Okay. If you, that is also giving protection to the lung. How our thoracic cage is giving protection. After thoracic cage, there will be pleura. Within that pleura only, our lung is situated. Now, what else important about apex means you have to see this picture now. See here, where is the apex of the lung? This is the apex of the lung. So which rib is this one? This is our first rib. This is our first rib. So what is happening? It is near to the anterior part of the first rib. Correct? This is the anterior part. This is the first rib. So this apex is near to the anterior part of the first rib. Okay. And one more thing in this picture, it is not showing, that is our clavicle. So just near to this area, our clavicle is also situated. So if you see there, 2.5 centimeter near to the clavicle, especially medial end of the clavicle, our apex of the lung is situated. Next one, base. So base means this lower aspect. Okay, we can also call it as diaphragmatic surface. Why do we call it as diaphragmatic surface? Because this base is sitting on the diaphragm. So we call it as diaphragmatic surface. Here also if you see, right side is somewhat higher than the left side. Remember, right lung is heavier than the left lung. One point. One more point, right side base, that means diaphragmatic surface is higher than the left side. This is mainly because our heart is situated in the center portion. Towards the left, more parts of the heart will be situated. That is the major reason. And one more thing, if you see this inferior or diaphragmatic surface or base, okay, it looks like, the shape looks like semilunar and it is concavity in nature. Okay, this is about base. So till now what and all we have seen? We have seen about apex, this conical part where it is situated, what it is covered by, all those things. The second one we have seen about base. So where it is situated, above the diaphragm it is situated, and what is the shape, why it is more higher on right side, all this we have seen. Now let's see about the borders. The first border is the anterior border. Okay, once again we'll go to the top picture now. So here only we'll see the anterior border. See, this is the right lung and this is the left lung. Okay, the surface which here we are seeing right now is the costal surface. Why do we call it as costal surface? Because this all will be covered by the rib. Let's go to the another picture so you will understand better now. Okay, see now. So which surface we are seeing? This is the coastal surface. Can you see our ribs are covering this coastal surface? Now you can understand, I guess. Okay, so that is the coastal surface. Okay, in this, okay, can you see this border? See the arrow mark where I'm showing? See where it is going like this on the left side. And I can see this where it is going like this on the right side. This is our anterior border. This is our anterior border. In case of right, okay, in case of right lung, this anterior border, if you see, it is just plain. It is going from above to below. But in case of left lung, if you see right anterior border, left lung anterior border, what is happening? It is forming a notch. It is forming a notch called as cardiac notch. So why? I'll just draw and show you. What is going to happen? This area, more part of our heart will be situated. That is the major reason this notch is formed. Understood? So this is the cardiac notch. So anterior border of the left lung has one important feature, that is our cardiac notch. And at the end of the cardiac notch, okay, this part, if you see, it is a elevated portion, little bit. Okay, so how it is going to look means, it is going to look like a tongue shape. It's going to look like a tongue shaped manner. Okay, so tongue, the terminology we use is lingula. Okay, because it looks like a tongue, this one we are calling it as lingula. Okay, these two features you can able to see in the anterior border. That's it about anterior border. Next one, inferior border. So inferior border, this is that inferior border. This sharp line, can you able to see? That is the inferior border on the right lung and the left lung. Okay, so this inferior border is how it looks. It is looking thin, it is sharp, and what is happening? This is going to separate the lung from the costal surface. Where is costal surface? This is costal surface. From here to the base, this both are separated by the inferior border. Correct? Okay, that's it about inferior border. Next one is posterior border. Where is posterior border? Here. This is our, sorry, I'll erase it. Yeah. Here, can you able to see this side? blunt. There is no what to say, there is no cardiac notch, nothing, just one blunt line running. It is actually thick. Comparing with the other borders, this border looks thick. Okay, and if you see in the specimen, it is somewhat ill defined. So from which level of vertebrae to which level it is extended? From C7 to T10. From C7 to T10, this posterior border is extended. Okay. Okay. Till now, what and all we have seen? We have seen about anterior border, we have seen about inferior border, we have seen about posterior border. Before this, what we have seen? We have seen the apex and base. Base, otherwise we can call it as diaphragmatic surface. Okay. Now let's see about fissures and lobes of lungs. Okay. So when we take the lungs, we will go back to those picture only. That looks better comparing with these pictures, right? So take this picture. So this is our right lung. This is our left lung. So what is happening in the right lung and left lung? There is a fissure. Okay. See, one fissure is running from one corner to another corner. No, this is our oblique fissure. Oblique. This is our oblique fissure. Another one fissure. See here, it is running like this on the center aspect. This is our horizontal fissure. So remember, right lung has two fissure. Okay, so that is, one is our oblique, another one is horizontal. Come to the left lung. What is happening to left lung? Only one fissure is running from above to below, that is oblique fissure. So because of this fissure, now the right lung is divided into upper lobe, middle lobe and lower lobe. Left lung is divided into upper lobe and lower lobe. This is on the costal surface. What about the medial surface? This is the medial surface of the lung. Okay. In case of medial surface also, you can able to see the you can able to see the fissures. Okay. So when you see the fissures, you can easily identify which is which lobe. Okay. So let's go to that slide. Same picture in a colorful form for your understanding purpose. I have put it here. So oblique fissure, horizontal fissure, just now we saw. Same in a different picture. So again, what is this fissure? Horizontal fissure. What is this fissure? Oblique fissure. What is this fissure? Again, oblique fissure. This is our right lung. What is this lobe called as? Upper lobe. This one is middle lobe. This one is lower lobe. This is again upper lobe. This one is lower lobe. Okay. Now let's see the surfaces. So now you know how many surfaces are there? Two surfaces. So what are the two surfaces? One is the medial surface where you are seeing right now. Okay. Right lung medial surface and left lung medial surface. One more is the costal surface. I guess you know now what is costal surface and what the structures are covering costal surface. This is the costal surface. This is covered by our entire ribs. Okay. So next one is medial surface. Let's concentrate on medial surface. Why I am telling you to concentrate on medial surface now? They do have so many related structures. Let's see right lung. Okay. See here. Before going to that, I wanted to show you the fissures here. Okay, this is our right lung. Can you able to see this fissure running from this part to this part? So this is our, and from here to here. Okay, so actually this is continuation like this. One, this is continuation like this. But center, what happened? The fissure won't be present on a medial aspect. Instead of that, our root of lung or hilum is situated. So on a medial aspect, we have the same two fissures. One is the horizontal fissure and another one is the oblique fissure. Okay, but in case of center, there is no fissure. Instead of that, we have root of the lung or hilum of the lung. Generally, what is root? Take one plant. Okay, when there is a plant, always they are going to have a root. Through roots only, the plant is going to get all kind of a nutrition. Same concept here also. This part, wait, I'll erase this. Yeah, this part, the center part, if you see, this is called as root of the lung or hilum of the lung. Why means there are structures which is coming in and going out from this root of the lung. Okay, that means what? Artery, veins, lymphatics, then our bronchus, all these will be entering, veins will be coming out. Okay, so that is why this is called as root of the lung. So now you know the fissures are running here and root of the lung is there. By means of this, we are dividing into upper lobe, middle lobe and lower lobe. Let's see what are the structures related to right lung on medial surface. Okay, because both the lungs relation will be different. Let's start from here. You know already this is the apex. Just below to the apex, there is a groove here for our subclavian artery. Subclavian artery. Clavian representing clavicle. So sub representing below. Okay, subclavian artery. That artery will be running below to the clavicle. So where you can able to find the subclavian artery? Neck region. Remember like this. Where is our apex? Near to the clavicle. Now can you relate what structure is related to near to the apex? Groove for subclavian artery. Next one. Here, this region if you see, this one is groove for brachiocephalic vein. Okay, brachium, brachio representing arm, cephalic again representing neck. So there is one vein which is going to drain the blood from the arm region and the neck region. That vein is called as brachiocephalic vein. So that will be crossing this area. Next one. Here will be the groove for first rib. I guess you know now. Groove for first rib. Next one. Here you can able to see a one space. One area that is called as trachea area. Like a trachea will be related to this particular part. And this part is for esophagus. Okay, and then here this is very nicely visible. This groove is clearly visible, right? So that one is for azygous vein groove. This groove is for azygous vein. And here again one groove clearly visible. This is for groove for superior vena cava. Just go down, go down, go down, and here this particular point, this is groove for inferior vena cava. Okay, and then remaining this part, something somewhat rounded manner, you can able to see that there is an impression that is for heart. So cardiac impression. Apart from that, again you can able to see one nice groove here like this. Entire region you can able to see that is groove for esophagus. Okay, so apart from this, you already know this is our vertebral surface. So definitely vertebrae will be related here. And this one, okay, so these all structures will be related in the space. So that is mediastinum space. That is why we call this surface as the mediastinal surface. You already know this is our diaphragmatic surface where the diaphragm is related. Not just related, it is going to sit on the diaphragm also. This is about right lung relations. Now let's see left lung relation. It will be different. Okay. So again, let's see what are the structures related here. This is apex. Just below to the apex, there is a area for trachea and esophagus. It will be running here like this. Then there is a groove for subclavian artery. So both the lungs will be related to subclavian artery, trachea and esophagus. The groove for left brachiocephalic vein. There groove for right brachiocephalic vein. Here left brachiocephalic vein. Here also first rib is related. So there is something different here. It is related. That is our thymus. Okay. So thymus is related to this part of the lung. So apart from that, there is one more important structure is related. That is groove for arch of aorta and descending aorta. Definitely arch of aorta above means below will be descending aorta only. Okay. So then what else is there here? See, you can see the nice impression over this part. So this is for our heart. So this is our cardiac impression. Okay. These all are some of the relations among the left lung and right lung on a medial surface. Okay. Now we have seen all the structures related in a medial aspect. Now in the medial side only we have one important structure, that is our root of the lung or hilum. So let's see what are the structures are coming in and going out of the root of the lung. Here also for right side and left side, there are differences. Okay. So before going to that, I'll just tell you in common what are the structures will be present. We will be having bronchus. Okay. Remember bronchus, yesterday class I have told you the bronchus. There is a trachea. Trachea will be divided into the bronchus like a both the side, right side and left side. Then the bronchus will be entering. So that is the primary bronchus. Then after that it will be divided into secondary, then tertiary, so and so. So that entry point is there, right? So we both the side will be having the bronchus. Then apart from bronchus, we'll be having arteries, be having the vein, and we'll be having some plexus, then we'll be having some areolar tissues. Okay. So let's see how many bronchus, how many bronchus, how many artery, how many vein will be having. So let's see from this picture. So if you see this picture, so if you see this picture, here we can able to see the bronchus, principal bronchus. This is our left lung. So here we can able to see the principal bronchus. In that, two bronchus are there. One is the eparterial, another one is the hyparterial. So this is our right lung. So because two bronchus is there, by that I told you now, this is our right lung. Okay. So there are two bronchus, eparterial and hyparterial bronchus. And then apart from that, what else we have? We have one pulmonary artery. We have one pulmonary artery. Then we have two pulmonary veins. That is nothing but superior pulmonary vein and inferior pulmonary vein. Okay. Along with this, we'll be having bronchial arteries. Okay. So here one bronchial artery will be having on the right side. But in case of left side, what are the differences are going to be there? Only one bronchus will be there. Okay. And bronchial artery 2 will be there for left side. Okay. So this picture you can able to see. This is our left side. So you can able to see the one artery and then one bronchus. Then here veins will be, two veins will be there. Okay. So remember, see, this is superior and inferior pulmonary veins. Pulmonary vein will be two. One pulmonary artery, one bronchus. Okay. So again, once again, I will tell you the structures which is present in the root of the lung or hilum of the lung. So what are they? In case of right side, we'll be having two bronchus, eparterial and hyparterial bronchus. Okay. Then one pulmonary artery. Then two pulmonary veins. Then one bronchial arteries. Then in case of left side, we'll be having one bronchus, one pulmonary artery, two pulmonary veins, that is superior and inferior. Then we'll be having the we'll be having the two bronchial arteries. So remember, this is on the right side. Apart from this picture it is not visible. Some other structures also will be present on both right side and left side. Those are anterior and posterior pulmonary plexus. Okay, pulmonary plexus of nerves. That means what? Plexus means group of nerves. Plus they will be having the some lymphatics also and lymph nodes along with the areolar tissue. So this is common, both the sides it will be present. Only difference you can able to see is the bronchus. Okay, other than that mostly similar. Then bronchial arteries also differences there. This is about the root of the lung or hilum of the lung. Next, in this only how the structures are arranged we are going to see. So from before backwards, if you see, the structures are arranged in this manner. That is superior pulmonary vein, then pulmonary artery, then bronchus. Okay, so this is how it is arranged from before backwards. Pulmonary, superior pulmonary vein. See, this is superior pulmonary vein, then pulmonary artery, then bronchus. So from before backwards. This is how it is arranged. This arrangement is common for both. On a right side, from above downwards. From above downwards, there is difference. What are the differences? First will be eparterial bronchus. Second will be pulmonary artery. Third will be hyparterial bronchus. And fourth will be inferior pulmonary vein. So this is the arrangement. Again, from above to downwards on right side, eparterial bronchus, pulmonary artery, hyparterial bronchus, then inferior pulmonary vein. This is the arrangement from above downwards. On the left side, above downwards, if you see, so from above, first one is pulmonary artery, second one is bronchus, and third one is this one, inferior pulmonary vein. So like this. From above downwards, it is arranged. So if you see this arrangement before backwards, both right side and left side is same. Superior pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, then bronchus. But in case of above downwards, right side and left side is going to be different. Okay, that's it about the arrangement of structures in the root. Now you know what are the features are in the external features are in the lung. So till now what and all we have seen, just quick revision I'll give you. So we have started with the apex, then base. So apex is, okay, we'll see in one picture only. So apex, base, apex is in the near to the first rib and then clavicle, and base if you see that is sitting on the diaphragm. So we call it as diaphragmatic surface. After that, what is happening? After that, we have seen a border such as anterior border, posterior border, and inferior border. Then we have seen two surfaces, postal surface and medial surface. In medial surface, there are two different surfaces. One is the vertebral surface, another one is the mediastinal surface. So in case of a costal surface, only ribs are related, so it's over. Only medial surface, so many things we have seen. In case of medial surface, there is one important structure is situated, that is our root of the lung, or we can call it as hilum of the lung. Okay, so both right side and left side, there are different relations are there in medial aspect of the entire lung. And one more thing, right side and left side, root of the lung, that is hilum, also having different structures. Okay, these are the things we have seen about lungs. Now let's see what is bronchopulmonary segments. So if you see this lung, okay, so if you see this lung, let me show you one more picture. Yeah, so if you see this lung, right side and left side, both the sides. Okay, what we are going to do means we are going to divide the entire lung into 10 different segment. Okay, see, now you know how many lobes are there in the right side and the left side. Okay, so according to that, lobes will be again dividing into the segments. That's it, easy. So first you have to know how many lobes. Now you know both the sides. One side if you see there are 3 lobes, another side if you see there are 2 lobes. So in that, so see this one also. So if you see this picture, right side upper lobe, middle lobe, lower lobe. So left side upper lobe and lower lobe. That's it. So now what is going to happen? We are going to divide this upper lobe into some lobes, in middle lobe into some lobes, lower lobe into some. Same like that here, upper and the lower also divided into different lobes. So that lobes, okay, we call it as bronchopulmonary segments. Okay, so now if you want to understand bronchopulmonary segments, you have to remember yesterday's class. So yesterday I have told you about bronchus. So how nicely it is divided. So first I will tell you about the bronchus now. So remember trachea. So what is happening? Trachea will be there. Okay. So now the trachea is divided into 2 parts. So now trachea is divided into 2 parts on the right side and left side. Okay. So the right side is the primary bronchus. Okay, right side is the primary bronchus. Now this bronchus, what is happening? It is entering into the lung. This bronchus is entering into the lung. Once this bronchus, which bronchus? Primary bronchus enter into the lungs, it will be again divided into different bronchus. That is our secondary bronchus. How many secondary bronchus? 3. Why on the right side 3 secondary? Why on the left side 2 secondary? Because we have 3 lobes. For each lobe, one. That's it. That's a major concept. For each lobe, one bronchus is giving. Okay. So once this secondary is reached the lobes, so the secondary lobes or secondary bronchus, okay, secondary bronchus will be again divided into small bronchus. That is the tertiary bronchus. We call it as segmental bronchus. So for 10 segments, this segmental bronchus will be going. Clear till now? So now what is going to happen? Once it is divided into segmental or tertiary, that segmental bronchus also will be again divided into small tiny branches. That is called as terminal bronchioles. Okay. Now this terminal bronchioles will be again divided into small branches. That is, it will be like this. One I will draw and show you. Okay. That is respiratory bronchiole. At each respiratory bronchiole, there will be a pouch-like shape. Okay. So that pouch-like shape is our alveoli. So at the region of alveoli, what is happening? Gaseous exchange will be happening. Okay. So this entire division we call it as bronchial tree. This entire division we call it as bronchial tree. So again, I'll tell you, from the trachea, it is divided into 2, that is primary bronchus. It is entering into the lungs. Immediately, it will be divided into secondary bronchus. The secondary bronchus for each lobe. So right side 3, left side 2. Now again, what is happening to secondary bronchus? It is divided into tertiary, or we can call it a segmental. Why means for each segments, one bronchus will be going. So total 10 segments will be divided into 10. This segmental bronchus again divided into small branches, that is terminal bronchioles. Again, the terminal bronchioles will be divided into small branches, that is respiratory bronchioles. That is the end. In that respiratory bronchioles, pouch-like shape, small pouch will be there. So that is all our alveoli. Inside that alveoli only what is going to happen? Our gaseous exchange is happening over there. Okay, understood this? So now bronchopulmonary segments. Let's see how many are there, how we are dividing. Okay. Yeah, this is the tree. Okay. So here you can able to see our primary. This is our primary. So this primary, if you see, it is divided into secondary. See, 1, 2, 3 secondary, 2 secondary. Okay, and one more important thing you all have to remember is this right side primary is shorter comparing to the left side primary bronchus. Okay, this is shorter and wider. This is longer and narrower. Okay, this difference you have to remember. Next, in this picture itself, it is nicely seen all the segmental or tertiary bronchus. See, for each lobe, small, it is divided. So that is the important thing. After that, you know the story now. Now we are going to concentrate on the bronchopulmonary segments. Okay, so before going to bronchopulmonary segments, I will show you the remaining bronchus also now. So this is our end bronchus, respiratory bronchus. This small, see, it is becoming small, tiny. And what is happening? Can you see that small pouch? Each we call it as alveolar. or alveolus. Okay, the total structure is called as acinus. That is name for this. Total structure is called as acinus. But one pouch, 1, 2, 3, like so many are there. So that is called as alveolus or alveolar. So when you take a section of alveolus, you can able to see the alveolar duct, alveolar sac, everything. There only gaseous exchange is happening. Now let's see the bronchopulmonary segments. So in case of bronchopulmonary segments, so this is how we are dividing. Okay. So in this picture, this is both are medial aspect. When you see the root of the lung or hilum of the lung, immediately you can say that is medial surface. Another side, you can easily say that is the costal surface. Here in this picture, we have put it the anterolateral aspect of the lung. Okay. So now let's see here. Let's see this one. So this is our left lung oblique fissure. So this is our upper lobe, this is our lower lobe. Upper lobe is divided into one segment, that is apical, then anterior, then superior lingular, then inferior lingular. Okay. Lower lobe is divided into apical, anterior basal, and lateral basal. This is an anterolateral aspect of the left lung. Medial aspect of the left lung, what is happening? See, above to the hilum, this is apical. Just anterior, this is anterior, this side will be posterior. Down to the anterior is superior lingular, then inferior lingular, then medial basal and posterior basal. Okay. See, for lingular, this and all you can easily remember this is cardiac notch, this end is going to be our lingula. So near to that, whatever segment we are dividing is the lingular. Above lingula is the superior lingular, below lingula is the inferior lingular. And what surface is here? Here is our base. So this is the medial basal and this is the posterior basal. Okay, this is on anterior aspect, so anterior. This is on posterior aspect, so posterior. Apex only we call it as apical. Understood the naming? Why does it come these names and all? So this is on the left lung. Come to the right lung. So right lung, what is happening? 3 lobes are there. So if you see from here we'll go anterolateral aspect of the right lung. If you see in the upper lobe, we have the apical, anterior, and posterior. And in the middle lobe, we have apical. Okay. In case of lower lobe, we have the medial, lateral, okay, then anterior basal, and again lateral basal. So this is on the anterolateral aspect. In the medial aspect, if you see, we have apical, okay, and anterior. So then posterior, a little bit only will be there. And then middle lobe, we have apical. And then lower lobe, we have medial, medial basal, and posterior basal. So these are the bronchopulmonary segments division. 10, we have small 10 divisions are there. Now what is going to happen? All that segmental arteries, there is something called as segmental arteries, will be running in between each of these segments. Do remember that. What is going to run in between all these segments? Segmental arteries will be running between these segments. And along with the artery, what else is running? Our bronchus, segmental bronchus also running all over these segments. Understood? So this is the division. So I have put it in the flow chart now. So right main bronchus is divided into right upper lobe, middle lobe, lower lobe. Now everything is going to have a segmental bronchi. So what are this? In the upper lobe is the apical, anterior, posterior. In case of the middle lobe, we have medial and lateral. In case of the lower lobe, we have apical, anterior, posterior, medial, and lateral. Okay, let's see about left side. Left side. So now you know all this. So upper lobe, lower lobe. So all having a like branches, segmental branches. One is anterior, then apical, posterior, then superior lingular, inferior lingular, again apical, anterior, posterior, then lateral. All these are the divisions of bronchopulmonary segments. Okay, so like I said, between each bronchopulmonary segments, the arteries will be running. See here, this is our segmental arteries will be running in between all the segments. So along with that, some vein also will be there. Those will be draining and sending it back. Okay. Okay. So let's see what are the arterial supply and venous drainage. I'll just tell you along with the picture. Okay. So if you see this first picture, yeah. So if you see this first picture, what is the arterial supply? So here if you see, there is a trachea will be there. Okay. So near to that trachea, what else structure will be running? Behind trachea. I'm telling about behind trachea. There will be esophagus, and near to that there is one important structure will be running. That is our arch of aorta. Okay, that is our arch of aorta. So arch of aorta will be there. Then continuation, what will be there? Arch of aorta, descending aorta will be running. Okay, so this structure will be behind the trachea will be there. So from the descending aorta, on right side and left side, the artery will be arised. So right side, if you see, one artery will be arised. That is our right bronchial artery. Right bronchial artery. Then left side will be left bronchial artery. Now you know the hilum have the bronchial arteries on right side and left side, right? So this will be entering into the hilum and it will be supplying all over the lungs. Especially it is giving nutrition to the bronchial tree. Okay, one more thing, it is giving nutrition to the pulmonary tissues. Okay, so apart from this, the major things you have to remember is the pulmonary vein and pulmonary artery. So what is happening to the pulmonary vein? How many pulmonary veins? 4 pulmonary veins are there. So they carrying the oxygenating blood to the heart. Okay, then pulmonary artery. How many pulmonary artery? 2 pulmonary arteries is there. They are going to carry deoxygenated blood. Okay, so these all are the blood supply of our lung. Next one, venous drainage. So in case of venous drainage, what is happening? There is a, how we have bronchial arteries, same like that we have a bronchial veins. Okay, so you know now there is a segments all over that segments. There is this segmental arteries will be there. Along with the segmental arteries, what is there? Veins will be there. So the bronchial veins will be there. So on a right side and left side. So right side, this bronchial vein. Okay, I'm talking about bronchial vein, collecting all the blood and it will be drained into azygous vein, and it will be drained into azygous vein. And left side bronchial vein will be there, that will be collecting and drained into hemiazygous vein. Hemiazygous vein. But like how we have pulmonary artery, no, for bronchial artery, same like that here pulmonary vein is there. So that is the greater part of a drainage. Definitely that will be the greater part. Then lymphatic drainage. So lymphatic drainage, if you see, in case of lung, lymphatic drainage is superficial and deep. There is a two lymphatic drainages will be there. So this lymph node, superficial nodes, what it will do, it will drain from the peripheral living tissues. So all over the lungs, there are tissues will be there. From there, lymph nodes will be collecting superficially. For deep, it will be collecting and draining from the bronchial tree, pulmonary veins, connective tissue, and segments. All over here, the limbs will be collecting. At last, you have to know about the nerve supply. So mainly, we have always two different systems. One is the parasympathetic nervous system and sympathetic nervous system. In case of our lung, parasympathetic nerve is the vagus nerve. Okay. Then in case of sympathetic, we'll be having 2 to 5 sympathetic ganglia. Ganglia means group of nerves. Ganglia means group of nerves. So that will be there. So these all are the blood supply, nerve supply, and lymphatic drainage of our entire lung. Last, I wanted to tell you about clinical aspect of our lung, especially bronchopulmonary segment. There is important clinical aspect is there. You all have to know about it. What means? So now you know the entire lung. We have a 10 different segments. So what is the major important of this bronchopulmonary segment? Means suppose in case of any lung disease, okay, any lung disease, in order to avoid the spread into other parts of the lung, maybe in one particular segment alone it is affected. So what we can able to do means only that particular part, any that particular segment we can able to remove it, and we can able to control the spread. Okay, for that one purpose you can use it. And one more purpose in case of any bronchoscope. So if you want to see how far the disease is spread all over the lung, if you want to see, we can use it through like segment wise. You can use the bronchoscopy and check it. For these two purpose, we are using it. So that's it about the entire anatomy of lung plus bronchopulmonary segments. Okay. So let me conclude it by one small discussion. Let's go back to the first slide itself. So what are the, so we have seen about the entire anatomical aspect of the lungs, especially we have seen all their external features, and along with that we have seen about the bronchial tree and bronchopulmonary segments. Okay, so lung, the points you have to remember is weight of the lung always on the right side is more comparing with the left side. Right side is going to be 600 to 700 grams, left side is going to be 500 to 550 grams. Do remember this. And if you see the color also, if you see while when we bond, the color is going to be pinkish color. Later it will be brown. Then later it is going to be molten black. Why color is changing means due to the deposition of carbon particles. We started to breathe in, breathe out. So automatically these things happen. It is normal for everyone. Okay. Then we have borders, surfaces. Then we have apex. Then bases. Then in surface main is medial surface, because in case of medial surface we have our important structure that is root of the lung, that is hilum of the lung. Yes, definitely right side and left side always differences are going to be there, so you have to know which is right side, which is left side by means of features. Then we have a lobes, different lobes on right side, left side, and fissures are there. By means of fissures only we have a lobes. And again, in each lobe, again is divided into a segments, that is bronchopulmonary segments by means of tertiary bronchus. So those tertiary bronchus will be supplying. We can otherwise call it as segmental bronchus into each segment. So we have 10 bronchopulmonary segments. That's it about entire anatomy of the lung. Thank you.